Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Sprinkle Yourself with Happy part of my channel. I found this meme, it popped up, and I just thought it was pertinent to what we've been talking about for estrangement within families, whether that's a sibling, a parent, a child. Um, Boy, everybody's estranged anymore. It says, one of the hardest things I've had to understand is that closure comes from within. Especially difficult if you've been betrayed by someone you love because you feel like you gotta let them know the pain they caused. But the peace you seek can only be given to you by you. And I'm going to add a spiritual facet to that. If you believe in God, Jesus, a higher power, I think that that comes from that source also through you. So the peace you seek can only be given to you by you. And that's when they say, forgive your betrayer, those who trespass against us. Because it's not about forgiving them, it's about easing your mind. Doesn't mean you have to forget, doesn't mean you have to keep being a doormat, right? But holding that anger only hurts yourself. Holding that sadness only hurts yourself. It's not hurting them. They're moving on. So the peace you seek comes from within. I thought that was really good. And then this other piece, it's a little bit lengthy. I hope you'll bear with me. And it's not new. It's an old piece, but I thought it was great. It says, life is like a train. You don't stay at every stop, and not everyone rides with you until the end. That's what we have to start learning. Some people are only here for a short while in our lives. Thank them for the lesson and keep going. Your train is moving on. Maybe they were in your life because you taught them a lesson. Lesson learned, they move on. When you're young, the train is loud and fast and crowded, and everyone seems to be on board. Your friends from school, your neighbors, coworkers, family. The compartments are filled with laughter and plans and noise. It feels like the ride will last forever. All the hubbub of youth. You can't see the end from that point. But as the journey goes on, people get off. Some step off at new stops because their path will take them elsewhere. We're all on our own journey. Some are lost suddenly, leaving behind empty seats and we can't bear to look at. And slowly, the train grows more quieter. The secret isn't to mourn every passenger who leaves, but to cherish the ones who are still sitting beside you. People come and go out of our lives for different reasons. Some because of the decision that they made or that you made. Sometimes death, or just a different path. They just kind of fade away. You ever had that happen? Just like, wow, we used to be so close, and we just kind of, just frittered away, pilfered out. So don't mourn every passenger who leaves. Cherish the ones who are still sitting beside you. To look out the window and notice the scenery because it changes constantly. Sunrises, fields, cities, mountains, it's all part of the same ride. And that's where I'm telling you to find joy in the moment. When I see a beautiful sunset, or I'm not usually up for sunrises, but just take a moment. I thank God for that gift, because you have to look fast, it'll change. In a minute, it won't even be the same sunset. And you can't capture it in its beauty on your iPhone. I can't. So it's a gift for the moment. It's joy in the moment. And I can't really share it because when I take a picture on my phone, it does not capture it. So it's really just a gift for me at that moment from my Creator. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, Lord. Don't be afraid when the train empties out. Be grateful that you had company for as long as you did. Nobody was required to sit there with you. Nobody had a contract. So for the ones who did ride with you a long ways, be grateful for that. And when your stop finally comes, whoo, might need a tissue here. When your stop finally comes, step off with peace, knowing that you traveled well. I don't know why I'm getting choked up with that all of a sudden. I've read this. I put it in my pad for me to read later. Woo. You know what it reminds me of? That long-running series called This Is Us. And at the end, when the mother dies, they put her on a train. Oh, if you haven't seen it, go watch that last episode of the whole series. It's powerful, and it echoes this whole sentiment about the train. Please, called This Is Us. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Tell me in the comments if you've seen that. Okay, so when your stop finally comes, step off with peace, knowing that you traveled well. Life really is like a train, filled with comings and goings, goodbyes, reunions, noise, and quiet. And if we're lucky, by the time we reach the last station, we will realize the ride was beautiful, not because it was perfect, but because it was ours. Oh. When we come into this world as little babies and we've got so much to learn and to explore, you don't even think about on the other end. But when you get to this stage of your life where I am, retired after a long, successful career, all of my children are grown, I know there's fewer days in front of me than what I have behind me. And I start thinking about this. When is my stop coming? It's going to come sooner rather than later. Think back on all the people who rode this train with me. I just want to get to that stop and have that peace that it's talking about. Y'all, I'm getting a little bit, this is kind of touching me a little bit. Y'all have a good day, friends, and I'll see you on the next video.